Should you jumbo to this menu update?
Princess Bear here today. We're at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. As my feathered friends in the background here are saying, they have a new menu.
It's time to go to Jiko, a cooking place.
Yes, this is your number one choice of foodie infotainment. We're here to try the food so you don't have to. Remember, she's vegan. I'm not. This one is not for the birds.
It's time to foodie and chill. I have to say mad props to Chef Eddie for bringing me the beautiful earth balanced butter that is not typically available here at Jiko, with the Chef Mike bread that is always chewy, but this one's really hot. And we have the beautiful cocoa salt action here. Oop. Okay, this is a lot, but you know what? I commit to my mistakes, 1, and 2, the gluten-free bread needs help. Needs all the butter it can get. Beside the texture of the bread and it being a little over, the butter and the salt is amazing. I would eat copious amounts of this, even though it is the Chef Mike bread, which is not my favorite. I wish that Jiko would do something different. They used to have multiple types of bread. Now they just have Giraffe, which makes me sad, but this is still good. I would give it a 3 out of 5 breads. It gives much better bread than most restaurants. Not as good as Yachtsman. We were just there. So I would say, we just did Yachtsman, Flying Fish, and Jiko, and this one is probably number 3 of the 3.
Normalize decorating and enhancing the vegan butter. We get earth balanced a lot of places, and you get a lot of places that have like Hawaiian sea salt, or you get themed salts like pineapple. In this case, cocoa themed sea salt. Salt's vegan. Put sand salt. Put it on the vegan butter. The vegans will appreciate it. I often have things to say about the allergy rolls. I appreciate their utility. This one is a exemplary example of said bread. With that cocoa sea salt, that is a star. I would give that 3.75 out of 5 claws. This will be the new bar that I judge all allergy rolls against. The infamous, never duplicated Jiko Giraffe bread with that design on top that imitates the reticulated giraffe that you can see around Animal Kingdom. But this is absolutely beautiful. I know we've been to a lot of signature dining lately, but this bread, second to very few. Not second to none, but second to very few. And then you have the butter with the baobab fruit on top. A little slice on there. Yes. This is one that you should fight over at the table, but don't worry, they will bring you more. I loved most of all, it's not just a nice crust on top of their bread, but the articulated giraffe like that, sort of like design on top. Like each one of those pieces has its own crust. So it's like getting extra crust, and then the super soft bread. It's like eating a pillow. Better than any Parker House roll you'll ever find. The giraffe bread, neck way above the others. 4.5 out of 5 claws.
The newest soup on the menu is a tomato soup, which can be modified vegan. So this is the vegan base version. We got the extras on the side, and then they usually put butter on top. We got no butter on top. So Bear can have it with the dairy, and I'm going to have it without the dairy, and we're going to enjoy it. Oh, wow. This is a very complex tomato soup. This isn't just let's throw some acidic tomatoes in a bowl and make something happen. This is roasted peppers, roasted tomatoes, fresh basil. Everything is emulsified into a beautiful liquid that just makes this an absolutely flavorful soup. This is tomato soup on another level. This is amazing. This is a 5 out of 5. This is a Princessities item. If I didn't have to share this soup, I would steal all of it.
beautiful roasted tomato soup and all. It was beautiful. I love that they always pour the soup for you here fresh at the table so you can see the soup cover all the ingredients. This is roasted tomato and they put a little basil in it. And then normally it would come with a some poppy seed crisp, cheese crisp, and a little bit of like cheese on the side. Here you have the basil, more tomato, and like the poppy seed crisp. That is a full flavored soupy bite. That the tomato soup on its own, like when it hits your tongue, is already extremely flavorful, very rich, both culturally and flavor-wise. With the added bit of the cheese crisp, poppy seed crisp, and then the cheese on top, just gives it more layers. It's like a compliment sandwich, but all the compliments, or all the pieces of the sandwich, so like compliment, compliment, compliment. 3 layers of deliciousness. That is something that will whet your appetite. If you come in here and you are like, I don't know about the menu, I am unsure about these African spices and this decor, this will assuage said fears. That is a 4.75 out of 5 claws. That is a top tier tomato soup.
I am so excited to have this back on the menu, though I am going to miss the dumplings. But I had this dish in 2016, 2017, and 2018, but we didn't start our YouTube channel until 2018, so we only have one review on our channel of this dish before the pandy, and it has been gone for so long, and now it is finally back. This is the Koki corn. It actually has a lot less mushrooms on it than the old version. It's basically like a tamale. Beautiful corn. They used to put more husk in here. This is more like beans. I am loving this configuration. Let me grab some of these pickled onions too. This is beautiful. Actually, I don't think this is beans. I think this is straight shredded mushrooms inside this corn. So then that makes it more mushroomy than the version of the past. That is incredible. That is better than what I remember it to be. I always remembered it to be like a tamale, but like this is so enhanced and so beautiful. The sauces make it amazing. I have no notes. This is perfection on a plate. This is a 5 out of 5. This is a Princess Cities item. This is going to be a dish that I will think about for years to come. And I missed it so much since the last time that we reviewed it in 2018. I never thought I would see it again. And now it is 2026 and it's back and I am here for it.
West African, not to be confused with South or East African. So West African Koki corn, this beautiful sort of like corn masa tamale inspired dish with dual sauces. You have the tomatillo avocado sauce on top, red pepper sauce on the bottom, mushroom and mushroom. It looks beautiful, like something that would be ripped straight from the savannah and put directly on your plate in the hands of a master chef. Which is what we expect when we come here. Everything is always plated beautifully with story and culture, and it also tastes amazing. I love how the avocado-tomatillo sauce sort of like mellows the acidity of the tomato, but still has like those unique flavors of tomatillo. And then the mellow of the avocado, that red pepper sauce gives it a little spice, a little kick, like bright, like the African sun. And then just the corn with the pickled vegetables. That's amazing. I like how they just turned the corn into like a own sort of like African masa for this African tamale, basically. This is a tasty, beautiful dish. It feels like something like you would find in an African fairy tale where I come out to learn some critical life lesson and then maybe fall asleep next to the corn masa or log in this case, and then wake up having a better outlook on life. That could heal us as a country, I think. I give that 4.75 out of 5 claws. I'm glad it's back. Reimagined or not, this is a beautiful dish, both inside and out.
The on-menu option is the gorgeous Injera basket. It is seasonal, and they do put like some flour into their Injera, so it's not like what you would expect when you go to like a normal Ethiopian restaurant. Now, my favorite thing to have on this dish is the lentils. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the lentils. I'm just going to do the one I'm not going to eat the whole basket. There's like some harissa and some kumquats and some tomato. I think I'm going to grab a little bit of tomato too. One of these guys. Let's throw them here too. Let's just make this a whole thing. You're supposed to roll the injera and eat it like a fork or a spoon. The lentils are always my favorite part of the injera basket, and that does not change. The pickled tomatoes are amazing. Everything about this dish is delicious. This is kind of like if you go to Sanaa, you get the pagoti, I think that's what it's called, and you get like the different little fixins. That's basically what this is. You get 3 fixins. You have a chickpea wok, which is amazing. They have this at Sanaa too. This gorgeous lentil dish, and then they have the cream spinach. And then you have the fermented vegetables with it and a harissa sauce, plus an injera that is mixed with the flour. So you have kind of what they do at Sanaa, but a little bit more elevated. And it's really good for somebody that's never had injera before. Personally, though, like if you want like some really good injera, I would recommend going to Nile Ethiopian if you're like doing a non-park day. But if you're staying here or you want to do something in the parks or you have like a special day, maybe an anniversary, birthday, engagement, something like that, come here and get this because I think it's really delicious. I would give it a 4.75 out of 5 injera baskets. I think the injera basket is amazing. I just wish they had more options on the menu for vegans beside this, but I'm not mad at it.
Ethiopian food at Jiko is like all of my dreams come true. Honestly, I wish they had a non-vegan version that had like Doro Wat and lamb tibs and some beef tibs on it, because like that's heaven for me. Definitely, if you get the opportunity to, you have like a day around Orlando, what you want to do, go see my cousins at Nile Ethiopian. Tell them we sent you, and you better be nice to them. They're like family. They've taken care of us for years, and if I find out you were mean to them, I will find you. Liam Neeson style, but more violent. Now, you don't actually need silverware to eat the injera. It's a fermented bread, so it's very similar to like a sourdough. This is obviously a different construction here at Disney, but like you have the lentil, you have the cream spinach, you have the chickpeas, and honestly, there's no wrong way to eat this. You can just nibble on the injera. You can pick up one thing, multiple things, whatever you like. But definitely, you just take a little bit of injera in your hand and you just pick it up. Pick up a little bit of cream spinach. I'm going to pick up a little bit of chickpea over here. And like honestly, on like non-park days, this is like one of our favorite meals. We get Nile Ethiopian, and it's on International Boulevard right near Universal. Like Sand Lake and iDrive. That'll feed us for like 2 days. Cream spinach, the sweetness, that cinnamon, and the chickpeas, delicious. I would easily give up any of the dishes on the menu to have a meat version of this dish with like literally Doro Wat and some lamb tibs. I would go to town. Doro would be chicken, and then lamb tibs are like two of the favorite things that I get when we go. And we always order extra injera because like once you have injera and you like it the proper way, you're always going to want more. Always get extra injera. I think the interesting thing is that normally if you went to an Ethiopian restaurant, the injera is laid out like on the plate and everything is on top. And then you tear off pieces of injera from the base and then pick it up. It's not normally in like a little tin, but either way it works. This is excellent. This is a 4.5 out of 5 claws. Honestly, I kind of wish I ordered this now. One of the brand new updates to the menu is the Herb-crusted venison. Now, it's not new, even though they changed the accompaniments and how they prepared it. I've actually never had the venison here before, which is a surprise. As many years that you've been coming here, both before YouTube and on YouTube, that I haven't tried it. It's a shock to me. So you have this herb-crusted venison cooked medium rare, just as the chef preferred. Then you have some celery root on here, and then a parsnip puree here on the bottom with some like pumpkin seeds and everything else. We recently started cooking with celery root for Thanksgiving, and I'm addicted now. That's going to be like in every Thanksgiving. That was delicious. But I digress. Back to the venison. That's a single little puck, but venison is a very rich meat, so I'm excited for this. Herb crust and all. A little crusty there. Venison being deer, or of the deer family, is it's a more gamey meat if you're not used to it, but it has a very unique flavor profile that goes well with some more, I would say, like exotic vegetables. It lends it like a different flavor than just getting like a pork chop or like a lamb shank. I would say it's probably closer to lamb, but definitely a more unique flavor. That is excellent. The herb crust is delicious. The venison's cooked perfectly. That is a meat eater's paradise on like a pedestal. I would give the venison on its own 4.25 out of 5 claws. Now for the rest of these accompaniments, this wonderful celery root, which when cooked correctly is like soft as like a mashed potato puck almost. You have this puree here on the bottom. I want all the things. Get a little bit of like little mini radishes in here as well. All served on the stalk, which is cute. Puree, celery root, venison. Salty, savory, sweet. The texture gradient is wonderful. The puree and the celery root wrap the venison like a blanket. That is amazingly tasty. I'm actually upset with myself that I waited so long in order to have that. Celery is exactly what it sounds like. It's like the root of the celery, but cooked right, and it's cooked excellent in this case, and imparts delicious flavors to a dish, and pairs well with any sort of meat, vegan or otherwise. This is a delicious dish, and you know what? I wasn't excited for the small change, but this is one that's going to haunt my dreams in the best of ways. Chef Eddie and the culinary team are doing amazing things. That is delicious. On the shush, heavy emphasis. 4.75 out of 5 claws.
I feel like I've been here too many times to where I sit down and Chef already knows that I want to order off-menu tofu. But here we are. Chef Eddie's amazing. I sat down and they were like, oh, you were going to get the order tofu. And I was like, yeah, I didn't even have to ask for it. Chef Eddie is killing it. This is a beautiful, crispy tofu. There's black-eyed peas in here, some kumquat, some greens. I am excited. Like, I dream about the tofu here. Even though it's not on the menu, I feel like the tofu here is so good. The kumquat flavoring really comes through in the entire dish. I love the crispiness of the tofu. Crispiness was like something that just got added like the last time that we came. Or maybe the time before. We had a chef that like went hard on the crispy tofu, and I love that. Flavoring is amazing. It's very sweet. The kumquat really like shines through. And then if you eat the black-eyed peas on their own, they have like a little bit of a kick to them, like a 3 or 4 out of 10 on the heat scale. I love this dish. It is so good. I could eat this tofu for days, and I look for an excuse to come to Jiko because it's just that good. I would give this a 4.75 out of 5 tofus. The only reason why it gets minus 0.25 points is because it's not on the menu. And they already have it. They already know they have it. It's just not on the menu. So please, chef, put it on the menu because it's so good. It's worth it.
It's really an unfair comparison in my head, but I looked at this dish. All the times we've gotten it here, dishes, tofu we've got in other places around Walt Disney World, and I'm thinking back to our New Year video, and honestly, Nine Dragons, you need to up your game, because everywhere we go to get tofu is better than Nine Dragons, and you really have no excuse, especially as many years as it's been. But back to the dish at hand, this African style, sweet and sour tofu deal on top of the greens and the black-eyed peas, the kumquat. Our server called these dinner daggers, and honestly, I'm going to live by that for the rest of my life. Things like that are why the cast members are the true magic at Walt Disney World. Nah. I want greens and tofu. I want all my veggies. I believe in the food groups. The sweetness and the earthiness combined, I feel like the Lion King soundtrack playing on my taste buds, and I love that. The crispness of the tofu, there was a literal crunch when I bit into that, while still being the soft, flavorful tofu. covered in the sauce, but not overpowering. It doesn't feel as if they're trying to use sauce to hide for the weakness of the tofu like some other places. Everything here is prepared delicately, and you would swear that they make tofu better than they make anything else in this menu. It's not true. They put care into everything, and it shows even on this off-menu plate. I would give this 4.75 out of 5 claws. You will be hard-pressed to find any signature dining place that makes tofu as good as they do at Jiko.
We have these awesome little parting gifts. They are strawberry buttons and they are vegan friendly. Cheers to the community.
So not for you. No, I didn't. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
It's like jam that melts in your mouth. Like the innards of a fig Newton. That is delicious. I would give that a 5 out of 5. Princess City's item. Come to Jiko and I don't know, leave impressed. Everything here is amazing.
So I leave this plane of existence and come back as a snowman. This is what you shall be using for my buttons. These are the only treats I don't accept. The only treats. No more gummy bears. Well, still gummy bears. No more beef jerky. Wait, still beef jerky. Okay, all the treats and this because I want all the things. Delicious. 5 out of 5 claws. Another wonderful dinner at Jiko. Here's the problem with doing reviews at Jiko. They're not reviews. Only they are reviews, but excellent is a standard.
They're an experience.
Yes. We don't come to GQ expecting for something to be bad. It's like what we're going to be wowed by this time. Every time we come to GQ.
I want to say that this is probably the most impressive experience that we have had at GQ to date. And mostly mad props to Chef Eddie, like, for making that possible, because this was out of this world good. I didn't even have to order the tofu. I didn't even have to ask for the tofu. And they were already like, oh, you want your tofu? That's amazing.
You guys frequently ask us in comments in person. Even on our list videos, we've listed like what the best restaurants in Walt Disney World. If you have to ask us for personal suggestions, I promise you that both Jiko and Sanaa are always on the list. If you do not care about the kind of food, the ethnicity, you just want an experience, Jiko and Sanaa, Jiko and then Sanaa are always on our
Agreed.
list.
Depending on which variation of meal you want. Jiko's obviously signature dining, Sanaa's a little bit more casual. Price points may vary. And then of course Sanaa has the best bread service on Disney World property, plus a couple of secret sauces. So no matter what you do, you're gonna have a good time.
But we want to know what you guys think of Jiko. Have you ever considered coming here for any sort of dinner? Let us know in the comments below. Now, if there's anything else you see us do, that will always be the place to find us. Hit that notification bell if you want to see other videos like this. And
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
We will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, Bear might eat himself to Kidani Village from Jumbo. And then, I don't know, I feel like he needs to be an impala or a leaping antelope. I forgot what the leaping one is, but he needs to be one of those, otherwise he's gonna hurt himself.
I thought I was a bear, but you heard the girl.
Bye.